These are the 5 reasons why I haven't started my Layer Poultry farm yet. Hi, I'm Carlos, guide at Secret Layers, a poultry education platform that teaches you how to start and run a layer poultry farm profitably. Before we begin, please subscribe so you don't miss any future uploads from this channel. Number 1, I'm still in school, and this is the main reason that's keeping me from starting my layer poultry farm. I'm actually in the university, so I still have to battle schoolwork and first of all complete it before I can go back and start my farm. But the good news is I'm in my final year, so by next year my farm. I'm not a big fan of excuses, but I think this is a valid excuse because I want to be the person that finishes the things that he starts. And since I started school, so why not just finish? And just for the record, if I were not in school, or if I had completed school, I would definitely have started my farm. No doubts about that. Reason number 2 is I'm still learning. And before I even decided that it was layer poultry farming I was going to go for, I thought it was just easy. You know how everybody thinks farming is just simple. In fact, my thought process was you just buy the birds, you come feed them, they give you eggs, and then you sell the eggs. But I was surprised. There is a lot of things to know, a lot of nitty-gritties, the small things that you have to know, especially about layer poultry farming. It's not like broilers, because remember, for layers you'll be keeping the birds for around 1.5 years. So at first I didn't know that there were things to do with brooding, that there are specific feeds, quantities and qualities that the birds have to eat. I didn't know about the specific vaccinations the birds were supposed to receive. In short, I knew nothing about technical layer poultry farming. I knew nothing about raising the birds. And on top of that, there's now the business side, which is a completely different story. You see, anybody can learn about raising the birds. Anybody can raise the birds and get the eggs. But now the problem comes in managing the business, making sure that it's profitable for you. So that includes finding customers, negotiating better deals or better prices for your trays, and business in overall. Because remember, you'll be competing with other people who are also in the game. And another key thing is the middlemen. What I've realized is that farmers fear these people the most. So for now, while I'm still waiting to complete school, that's what I'm focusing on. I'm learning some of the technical and business stuff about layer poultry farming. And hopefully by next year, I'll feel ready, I'll be confident enough to start. Reason number 3 is money. And I think most of you will agree with me on this. You need money to do anything. And even starting a farm, especially a layer poultry farm, you need money. And layer poultry farming is capital intensive, especially if you want bigger profits or you want to start a big farm. So for me, I have to decide the number of birds that I'll be able to handle as a beginner, while at the same time getting a substantial profit. So I need the money to start with that. Plus, if you're wondering how much you will need, I published a blog post recently about the startup costs for starting a 50-layer bird poultry farm, and the total was around 91,000 Kenya shillings. So if I need 100 birds, I'll probably need close to double that, which is around 185,000. If you want to see the cost by cost breakdown of that startup cost, check out secretlayers.co.ke. You'll find the published post there. And the other thing for me is that I don't mind at all starting with 50 birds. That's perfectly fine with me. So let's say the least amount of money that I need, that I'm looking for right now, is 100,000. That will enable me to start with the 50 birds. Reason number 4, and probably the most important, if you forget every other reason, just speaking on this, I am not quite sure if layer poultry farming is profitable. You see, I've watched, read and listened to many of the success stories layer poultry farmers give on the internet, especially on YouTube. Those figures are not elaborate. The numbers they give, one, they're either sales, what they get from selling the eggs, so they've not deducted their costs, and you don't know how much profit they make from that. And 2, most of those farmers don't pay themselves the salary. So let's say a farmer says he makes 100,000 per month from selling eggs. Out of that, about 80% will be the costs, the expenses, including feeds, which will account for about 70%, and the other 10% for the other expenses. So that leaves him with around 20,000 profit per month. But even so, on that 20,000, he hasn't deducted his or her salary. So that means he has been working on his farm for free. And one of the things I noticed about small businesses is the owner of the business, who is there running it daily on a day-to-day basis, doesn't pay himself a salary. So they just take the net profit that the business makes as the money that they personally make, which is a bad thing to do in a business. And so if considering the farmer has to take a salary from our 100,000 per month example, if he pays himself 10,000 per month, then he's left with a 10,000 profit for the business. So I'm not sure if 10,000 profit per month for the business or a 10,000 salary is what I want, but that is the other thing that I'm still considering about layer poultry farming. And the other thing that I noticed is the numbers that the farmers give in the success stories are usually for during the laying period. So that amount just covers the costs during the period of laying. The farmer has not covered the feed before the birds started laying, and remember they take about 5 months, 4.5 to 5 months. The farmer has not covered the other expenses, including drugs, the sawdust, the brooding expenses, or even the structure. So what I noticed is that it takes quite a long time for the farm to eventually break even, and if you're not careful, it could take you up to 5 years and you've not yet broken even from the startup costs that you used to start your farm. And finally, reason number 5, this is a more personal reason. I haven't started my farm because I want to teach and I want to share. So I'm basically sharing what I have learned so far about the technical and business side of poultry farming, and I'm documenting and sharing my journey, and I'll continue sharing even as I start and continue growing my layer poultry farm. What this does for me is, first of all, it helps me to gather the information that I would otherwise have been lazy to look for. Second, it helps me to clarify my goals and my plan. For instance, if I had one idea and then during the process of researching so that I can share this content, I realized somebody else had tried that idea but it had failed, I learned something. Or if I had another idea and then as I'm researching I found out that other people are doing it and they are successful, that's good for me. So I currently have a blog, secretlayers.co.ke. Make sure you check it out. It has all the things that I've currently researched and I'm continuing to, and these are real articles with real information that I personally looked for. I currently have an X profile and a Facebook page, both at Secret Layers. Make sure you check them out and follow. Plus, I created a free guide for any aspiring layer poultry farmer. So if you are a total beginner or if you are a farmer but you now want to venture into layer poultry farming, this is the free guide. You can get it at the link in the description. I'll make sure I put it there. It's free. Free. Those are pretty much the 5 reasons why I haven't started my poultry farm yet, and hopefully next year the farm will be ready and running. If you found value in this, please subscribe so you don't miss any future upload from this channel. Also, tell me in the comments why you haven't started your farm. Tell me the reasons why. You can check my other video where I explained how I will use the 50,000 given by the government through the Nyota program to start and build a profitable business. I'm sure you can pick up something of value from there.